y'all see me?
Says we had 2, then 1.
Is it live?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see anybody's live. I can't tell. Is anyone watching?
It just says 1. Refresh your screen up there and see if it'll.
Hey guys, how you guys doing tonight? Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we here now, so I got it together. Sorry. All right, today's tutorial, what I'm doing today is I'm going to show you guys how to create your own tapered templates using an online conical warp generator and Photoshop. So the first thing that we'll do is you'll need to go to www.onlinelabels.com. Once you get there, in the search bar, you'll type in tapered. This will bring up your tapered label generator. And as you can see here, this is where you will enter your measurements for your tumbler. So what you'll do is you'll take your tapered tumbler and you'll measure the top. And my top is measuring right at 9.30. So I'm going to write that down. Then you have to measure the bottom. My bottom is coming in at 8.75. And then you need to measure your height. My height is measuring right at a little over 8.05, but I'm going to do 8.10. Then you go to your conical warp generator and you'll put in your measurements. So on the top one, you'll put in 9.30 as the top circumference. Then we'll do the bottom at 8.75. And then our height, I'm using 8.10. Right here, you'll set your wrap coverage. So you want your wrap to cover 100% of your tumbler. So we'll put in 100. And right here, this is your corner radius. So if you want rounded corners, then you'll put it at 1.25. But I don't want rounded corners, I want square corners. So I'm going to hit 0. Then you'll click generate, and your template will pop up right here. So once your template pops up, you'll hit download. You'll download it and save it to your computer. You'll hit down. So once you save it to your computer, you'll then go to Photoshop. And in Photoshop, you're going to open it up, and I'm going to drag and drop it. When you drag and drop it into Photoshop, this box will come up. You'll just hit OK. Your template is already sized. You don't have to do anything to it in Photoshop. The only thing you have to do now is go and find your image. So today, I'm going to use her attitude is kind of savage, and I'm going to drag and drop. Now, I've already created the label. I've already sized it to the size of my tumbler. So when I drag and dropped it into Photoshop, it's already sized. I don't have to do anything with sizing it. So now that it's here, it's layered on top of my template. As you can see, the template is underneath. So what I do is I just fit the image over the template. Then what you'll have to do is you'll have to warp this inside the template to fit without distorting your image. So you'll click Edit at the top. You'll come down till you see Transform, and then you'll hit Warp. Once you hit Warp, you'll see the box comes up around it, and you have like a blue box with little dots for your corners and your sides. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I like to start at the bottom and bring it in to fit my template. And as you can see right here, here's the edge of my template. So I'm bringing the end of my image to the bottom of that template. I'm going to do the same thing with the right side at the bottom. I bring it in and I fit it to the template. You see it's not distorting my image. I'm not cutting anything off. The top, when I brought it in, I already had it pretty much at the corners at the top. So this side needs to come in just a little bit. This side at the top was pretty good. So now I'm going to bring in my sides. Starting at the left side, bringing it in to the edge of the template. Bring it down at the bottom, inside to the edge of the template. And you're moving it by clicking on those dots, and you just hold it down and drag. Now I'm going to the right side and bringing that side in to the edge of the template. So my sides are looking pretty good. Now I'm going to the bottom, bringing it up. The left side at the bottom, bringing it up to fit inside the template. Now I'm going to the top and raising it up to fit the curve at the top. All right, so now my template looks pretty good. I got it sized. So now what you'll have to do in Photoshop is delete that bottom layer, which is the template. So in order to do that, you'll come over here and you'll click the eyeball, and that'll disable that template. So right now, this is disabled. The template layer is disabled. So the only thing showing is my image. Now we're gonna print. So to print, you would go to File, come down to Print, bring up your print screen. Today, I'm using my Epson 4700 instead of the 15,000 because this is able to fit on one 8x10 sheet. So I'm gonna make sure my print settings are correct. I'm printing from Photoshop, so I want Photoshop to manage my colors. So I need to go up here to make sure my Epson printer settings are off. So I'll click Print Settings. I'll come over here. I'm printing on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I got it set to Premium Presentation Paper Matte Landscape. The quality is high quality. I want to preview my image first, so I got Print Preview set. Now I go to this screen to manage my colors. On my printer, I want to turn my colors off. If I don't turn my colors off on the printer, they're going to battle the printers colors coming out of Photoshop. I'm sorry. So I have to click Advanced. It's bringing up your color management. Color management, you need to make sure no color adjustment is set. This is turning your color controls off on your printer. I want it mirrored, and I have my high speed turned off. So now I go back to Photoshop's print screen. I make sure right here it says Photoshop manages my colors. I'm using Craft & Bestie's paper, so of course I'm using the Cosmos Ink Color Profile. Down here at the bottom on the left, you want to make sure that Match Print Colors is set. So it's going to match these colors as best as it can. Everything looks good. I'll click Print. And this is my print preview. This is what the image is going to look like. To save time, I've already printed it out, so I'm not going to actually print it. I'm going to hit Cancel. So I have printed the image out, and this is what the image is going to look like. So right now, I'm going to clean my tumbler, and I clean them with alcohol. And I use a microfiber wrap clean it off. And while I'm doing this, wrapping it, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my convection oven. I have the Gourmet convection oven. I'm gonna use air fryer mode today. So I'm setting mine at 320. Mine has a tendency to run on air fryer mode. It runs about 30 degrees higher. My target temperature is 350. So I'm gonna set this to 320. It's set right now to run for 20 minutes. That's just to get it to preheat. Come on here. And I'm gonna hit start. So while that's preheating, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap my tumbler. And as you can see, the template I created is gonna fit just right. It's gonna fit. Just touching. Now I'm going to tape. This one's actually a little bit shorter. I got my bottom set. I like to use a little squeegee to make sure I got all the air out. And now I'm pulling as tight as I can. And I'm gonna start taping up. Squeezing, pulling in, and taping up. Squeezing, pulling in, and I'm taping up. So now that I have my seam tape, I'm going to tape my rims. I like to take one long piece of tape. This is the clear tape that I'm using right here. I have brown tape and I have clear tape. When I go in with the clear tape, I don't tape all the way to the top. I leave about 0.25. And I do this to get all the air out before I seal the top. I'm going around, pulling. If I see any air, I'm pushing it up to the top. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. So now that I have the clear tape, I go in with the brown tape. The reason why I use the brown tape at the top, because this is more flexible to me and it seals and folds over the rim better. That's just my preference. So now I'm going around the top and sealing the top. And to make sure I don't have any air, I'll take my squeegee and I just go around the rim like that. And then I'll fold it over. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. And I'm pulling this tape as tight as I can. This tape stretches a little bit, that's why I like to use it on the rims. You can use this tape all over. Like I said, the only reason why I have the clear tape is because I have bought a bad batch of that brown, this orange, yellow tape, whatever you want to call it, gold tape, and it left a gold stain at the bottom. So I called myself ordering the clear tape thinking it was the same texture as the gold tape, but it wasn't. So now that I have it taped, I just tape around the rim, the bottom, and I tape that seam. Now we're going to shrink wrap it. So I got my shrink wrap and got my heat gun. When I'm shrink wrapping, I like to let it sit at the bottom, and I shrink wrap from the top. And I go from side to side, pushing all the air out through the top and the bottom. You see how smooth this and tight it's getting? Now since I got that, I seal my bottom and my top. Nice and sealed. So right now, my oven is ready. It's set at 350. And the tumbler is going in, and I'm gonna set my timer for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay, 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Any questions? What's on my shirt? It says straight out of shape, but look at, I'm trying, what you doing? It said, okay Siri. Yeah, Siri is my best friend right about now. Thank you, Shell. I had to clean it up a little bit for this live. See, that oven is holding at 350. I gotta get this COVID weight off, y'all. Looking at my stuff on this live, I'm like, woo! Sweet. You guys, this is the mug that I did last night using my little new Cricut mug press. I did a burn off method. It came out okay. You can still, like where her face is on the brown, You can still kind of see through it, the image that was underneath there and right here on the letters. But other than that, it came out pretty good. I can keep this and drink it around the house. What'd you say, Shell? Here's two. You gotta get yours, honey. I gotta get back to the track, but it's a little too cold out there for me. I'm sorry. I gotta wait till it warm up a little bit. All right. For some reason, 4 minutes seemed like a long time while you waiting on a tumbler. What you say, Christy? Your baby is 15. You still trying to get baby weight off? You talking about this light box right here? Yeah, I made that one. It's just a crate, and I found some little furry fabric from where I get this from? What's that other craft store? Not Michael's. I can't think of it. It's on the top of my tongue. What's the other craft store they got around? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. What's the name of it? I can't think of it. Michael's and
Joanne.
No, not Joanne's. Hobby Lobby. That's it. All right, 4 minutes is up. Now I like to take mine out, and I have a fan that I sit in front of. The reason why I do that, because the longer and hotter it is, I mean, if you take it out and you're trying to remove it while it's hot, number one, if you don't have gloves, you're trying to burn yourself. I ain't got time for all that. So I let it stop cooking, cool down and stop cooking, and that speeds that process up instead of letting it sit hot and keep cooking while it's hot. So that fan is gonna pull it off for me, then I should be able to just grab, I'm gonna be able to just grab it and take the wrapping off. That's my method. I like to cook at 350, but my oven runs hot, so I set it at 320. If I'm using air fryer mode, if I'm using convection mode, I set it at 325 because it runs 25 degrees higher. My setup is in my garage. I have plenty enough space in here to where I set up my little craft shop, my little craft cave, that's what I call it. So I usually let it cool. If I was cooking more than one tumbler, I usually let it cool for the other 4 minutes while I'm cooking the other one. But this one, I'm gonna let this cool for about 2 minutes and it should be ready. I don't turn mine at all when I stand it up. I just sit it right in the center and let it cook. All right. We good. See how easy that peels off? It ain't hot. I ain't burning my hands. Y'all can have that. So you got another little tip. I found these right here at Harbor Freight. They're like little pick tools. I think these were around $3 and you got a whole set of 5. And that's what I use to peel my tape off. And I forgot to tell you guys that this is a metallic tumbler. You don't want to come off of there. I got something for you. Say, you know I'm live today, tripping today. And voila. That's how you create your own tapered template. Look at the seam. Nice and straight. Now you don't have to go around trying to find a template. Then when you get those templates, you're trying to fit it in there, you're cutting half of your design off. And that is it. Any more questions?
There were a few comments that went through, so
Okay, let me see. So I've been trying to perfect my tumblers and messed up the temp yesterday. Melted the wrap off. What temp did you use? To me personally, 400 is way too high, so that's why I stick with 350. You might can go to 375, but 350 has been working like a charm for me for 4 minutes. If I have darker colors, I try to go 415, especially like black, so I don't undercook it. If anything, I'm gonna undercook it, but I'll never overcook it. Any more questions? All right, well, thanks for watching, you guys.